Well, hello everyone. Talk about right here. Talk about for guess what remote control, and talking about that if we have right here is some examples right here of some Photoshop work. I'm talking about where for if it's gonna be couples they may have met maybe while that they were in school, or maybe if it could have been maybe at work or something like that, maybe at an evening party, or maybe any sort of gathered group or anything like that. But talking about with remote controls, and if anybody has are familiar with like any source of remote control like this right here, where you have a variety of buttons, and with these you got the volume control, and then you got the channel control, and as well as the menu options, and as well as the recording time, and a few other control buttons right down here. You can see that, and you have right here is for the Blu-ray player right here. So yeah, that each of they take batteries just to be able to work them, but we wanted to wear that a lot of times. That with these remote controls right here, and you have right here is the remote control. You got right here is the portable DVD player. This is an old one, of course, but you got portable DVD player right here with the remote controls. So you have right here this remote control. So just to be able to watch this, which is called a single DVD player, portable DVD player. But if we would be wanted to wear that we call is to wear that, yeah, if we ever thought about that, is to where while you were sleeping, that this is what's been going on with your schedule. It's like while you're sleeping that maybe the TV it reprograms, and then it sets it programs it to where that any channels and stations that come through that it's ready to go the next time that you turn on the TV on the TV, and then have right here that this remote control right here, you have right here is the TV right here, but you have right here is the remote control that would power the TV and the player. So you have that, and then that comes on right there. And just think about it, to where you have right there is this big screen right here, and with this remote control right here, that I also was thinking is that, yeah, that why is it that maybe a few of these remote controls that don't have an LED light, and then any source of light in case of the lights go out, if it has any source of rechargeable light, and then as well as if anybody say that anything that you can ask for with the remote control. But of course wireless remote control, so if you're going to be maybe on a honeymoon or something like that, and just think about yeah, that anything that's going to be counted as for a grade or any source of weekly allowance, that you're like warrantor, okay, this remote control and in this remote control, okay, which one does what, which one controls what, and then, so you're like thinking as to where that yeah, if you want to find something to watch, and then okay, I'm seeing two different remote controls right here, okay honey. And sometimes that the guys, like say that if they're what you call on a date or something like that, they're gonna say okay honey, which remote control controls the TV, which one? Well, that's pretty like, well, you play around with it, you mess with it, I don't have time to mess with it, like, well, oh, I'll go and figure it out here. But anyway, with these remote controls right here, you have right here is the remote control due to the portable DVD player. But if we can see this right here, that really that it don't really, yeah, it's not really what you call one of those remote controls to where that you would be able to have access to a TV program. It operates a DVD player. So yep, any soundtrack CDs or DVD movies or anything like that that you put into the player right there, that's what controls that. And then but with this right here controls the TV. But if we see right here on the bottom, it shows right here is to where they have these buttons right here, and that control up. So I'll go ahead and turn that off. But really, just to be able to find the station, and you're like warned to where that remote so it's a remote access, and it's like, yeah, in order to be able to get that tech support, and then as well as watching it, sort of streaming the web and all that stuff could be done on the TV. But think as to where that, yeah, with this remote control right here powers the Blu-ray player. So anything related to streaming videos, you'll be able to use this remote control for. But then anything that you're operating with the TV. So if you're going to have maybe a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One or something like that connected to the TV, then these would be what's called the router buttons that you would push just to be able to just to be able to connect to that routing, just to be able to play for what's connected to that line on the console, if it's a game system or maybe a Blu-ray player or connected to a computer or something like that. But anyway, but nowadays with our TVs, that you would be able to connect to the internet, and then that you wonder to where that nowadays you wonder to where there could possibly be like a built-in satellite inside the TV. Just thinking this to where if you're going to be on a honeymoon and thinking that well, if this is counted towards my grade report, honey. But just thinking as to where that knowing about that really that the bride or somebody or the groom or the bride are going to maybe think as to where, honey, you figure out how to work this remote control and I'll get you your supper. But anybody say that, yeah, you go and fix dinner and I'll go and figure out the remote control or something. But anyway, but you have right here is the remote control right here. You got two of them, and that's the first thing that anybody would probably say, that if they're going to be visiting or somewhere, maybe on a honeymoon or somewhere, and you have these remote controls. But if we ever thought about that, is to where one remote control, of course, that you have these different these buttons right here, and then you have shortcuts and as well as menu options and tools and stuff. But just like I said, yeah, that the once upon a time is to where that they you had to deal with the cord, but then now since they're wireless, they probably work within about maybe 30 or 40 feet of range. But that right there is the big TV right there. But other than that, talk about, you say, guess what, remote control.